Things are starting to heat up here in year 5 of our Hartford Whalers expansion franchise. We have a 7-game road trip leading up to the trade deadline as we enter this episode, leading 2-1 in the third period over the New Jersey Devils, but that would not last long. There's Nico Hischier to Jack Hughes and Jesper Bratt, right place at the right time as he finds the back of the net, all knotted up here off the opening faceoff to start the third. Later on, Landeskog lugging it towards the net, gets a shot off Roslovic, retrieves it in the corner back for Landeskog, then back to the point for Mocking in front for Brock Boeser, and look at that puck movement as Hartford takes the late lead, now up 3-2. And who doesn't love an empty net goal on the power play? We know captain Andrew Mangiapane does, his 20th of the season, as he's hit that mark all 5 years now after being drafted in the expansion draft from Calgary. And speaking of the Flames, we then promptly headed all the way from Newark, New Jersey, all the way to Calgary as we entered this game in the third period, 1-1, and Sidney Crosby entered the box there late in the third period, and this is definitely a new look Calgary Flames team than we're accustomed to seeing. Igor Shesterkin is also the goaltender on this team, as we see him make a huge save there late on the power play. Igor stood on his head in this one, as often is the case, but later on Brock Boeser into the final minute, some silky smooth moves there into the zone, but was able to get it for Jack Roslovic into the corner as Montour fed Roslovic, and then off the rebound Tom Wilson buries that one as Hartford takes the late lead. In typical Andrew Mangiapane fashion, he buries the late goal right in front as we take this one. A good start to the road trip. We then took to the sim where we'd make it 3 straight wins to start the road trip, 5-2 win over the Arizona Coyotes before it was snapped there, 4-2, and a loss to the San Jose Sharks. Then we strung together back-to-back losses as Edmonton took us down 4-3 despite a late goal there from Brock Boeser. It was then time for overtime, OT in LA, a 4-4 game here against Los Angeles Kings, and Brant Clark off the opening faceoff says, "Don't mind if I do," just powers into the zone, a huge shot there to beat Yaroslav Askarov, and the Kings a much-needed win there in the Pacific Division as they win 5-4. We then returned back east, concluding this road trip with a 2-1 victory over the Washington Capitals, who are at the bottom of the NHL this season, their first year without Alexander Ovechkin, and a standings check here as we're currently 3rd in the Metro, ending this episode leading into the trade deadline. Some of the top names expected to be made available include Zach Werenski of the Columbus Blue Jackets, Dustin Wolf of the Calgary Flames, Dominic Kubalik of the Detroit Red Wings, and even Brian Rust of Pittsburgh, a 2-time Stanley Cup champion, Ryan Graves and Jacob Slavin of Montreal. Even the San Jose Sharks had made pretty much everyone on their roster available for trade, but in a closely contested Metro division where every measly point matters, we're forced to make some additions at the trade deadline. Click the link in the description for our trade deadline episode to see who we added to bolster our lineup and strengthen our Stanley Cup run here in year 5.